everyone! We are back from Gen Con.
Yep, we are home and are very, very glad to be home and need to go to bed soon. But we wanted to wrap things up for you before we finish out our Gen Con 50. You know, when I try to think of my favorite thing that I did this Gen Con, game-wise, it's definitely Galactic Missionaries.
Mm-hmm.
And experience-wise, honestly, I loved the PlayStation 3D experience. I don't have one at home. I really enjoyed it. I got there early in the morning, and they just kind of let me do my own thing, and it was really nice.
Oh yeah, you did the Star Trek?
Yeah, I did Bridge Simulator, and it was really cool. You know, I mean, it was like $14 for an hour, and the first 30 minutes was playing the tutorial. But I've never done anything 3D before other than a 3D movie, and I think it was Pandora. Was the last? No, not Pandora.
We saw the Star Wars.
Star Wars. No, we did. We saw the Force Awakens in 3D. But it was just such an immersive experience to play a video game in. That made that great. But honestly, my favorite single experience is how many people we hung out with.
Yeah.
We got to meet Eric from Condition Nerd, and Dawn had been listening to them for a while before I jumped in. Your guys' hour-long live stream of just you chatting is phenomenal. Like, we edit a lot.
I'm sorry, Hilo wants to play with us right now.
We edit a lot.
That's the clicking you hear.
And so that's really impressive. I got to meet a guy, Alex, who works for Sun King Brewery, and he lived in Ghent next to the butcher shop I used to work at for years, moved in January, and we met in Indianapolis. Plus we got to meet Tina, a cosplay friend. We met 5 people from home at Gen Con, and I think that might be my favorite thing that we did, was just meeting so many people, plus Eric from New York and John from Indianapolis, and just all these cool people that we forged like a really awesome hour-long friendship with.
Yeah, and I chatted with a couple people at panels and got to meet a couple of people that, like, I've commented on their videos and they commented on ours, and we were sitting in a panel, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, that's where I recognize you from. So that was really awesome to actually, like, have this space where you got to meet people in person and not just, like, through the interwebs.
Yeah.
So that was really fun.
As well as hanging out with nerds and stuff while I was in line picking up Tales from the Loop. Like, that was really fun, and like an hour long, and then we parted ways. And that's just a really cool part of it. Something that I heard a lot about going into this year's Gen Con was people were worried it was going to be too crowded. Gen Con sold out, as all of the signs, and a couple of people wearing t-shirts actually said. Gen Con sold out. I was worried it was going to be too crowded, because there have been times in the past where, like, the vendor hall is just the experience of being in a human wave.
Yeah.
And you hope you can catch a turret towards the direction you want to go in. We've waited a long time to get into a couple of panels and a couple of the larger things.
And honestly, this year felt like it was better than some of the other years that we went. Like, the layout in the exhibitors hall, I think they widened the pathways, because it did not feel quite as much of like, oh, I'm going in this direction and I have no hope of veering off that way. You just felt like there was a little bit more space in the aisles.
Yeah, so I'm really glad that did not become a thing, because I was really worried that this might be the last and least fun year of Gen Con for me. And I think that it was my latest and probably my favorite year. That we have had.
Yeah, we're gonna do a quick little haul of what we picked up at Gen Con, and we'll have reviews on the games and stuff like that coming soon as we play them and figure out our thoughts on them.
Yeah, coming pretty soon. You can catch our review. My review. It's mine. It's not yours. I don't have to share it. My review of Ape Games Dark is the Night. It was really fun, so check that one out in the next few weeks or so.
Yeah. We picked up Unearth. It's a dice placement game by Brotherwise Games. That's a really fun one.
I got to stand in line for Tales from the Loop from Modophius. It was actually really funny. Dawn really wanted this system book, and I hadn't heard of it, and I didn't know what it was. And I stood in line for about 45 minutes just so I could be the first person in line. And as soon as they pulled the book out, I recognized the cover art and had been wanting this game for well over a year, and I read it that night. It's really great. It's an entire system, alternate universe 80s, where there are dinosaurs and robots and flying cars, and that's all super normal and boring, and your characters must be between 10 and 15 years old. I can't wait to run one. I've already been kicking around an idea for a 3 or 4 shot campaign in my head.
A game that I was really excited that they got extra copies because it meant I got to pick one up at Gen Con is Viral by Arcane Wonders. And this is a game where you're playing as a virus inside a human body. And it's kind of a area management game where you're trying to control different systems within the body. So like the respiratory system or the nervous system or the digestive system. And you're playing as a virus and you have to deal with the other viruses as well as the body trying to use its immune system to get rid of you.
Sort of an impulse buy was picking up Dark as the Night by Ape Games. It's really cool. It's a 2-player game, which Dawn and I love to find those because we really like playing games just with each other. And it's a 1 against 1. One of you is the hunter, one of you is the monster, and it's whoever can get the other one first. We've played it, we enjoyed it, and you can check out that review in just a little bit.
We picked up Wrath of the Dragons, which is not a new game for this Gen Con. I actually played it 2 Gen Cons ago, and our friend Tucker picked it up, but then he moved away. And I really enjoyed it. It's a resource management and destruction game where you're playing as dragons that you build cities, and then as a dragon you destroy the city. And it's by Catalyst Games.
We built this city. We built this city and burned it down. We finally got to pick up our copy of Ironed and Ale from Table Forged Games. We've got a bit of a history with them. We really like some of their games, and we've been trying to get Table Forge, but sometimes the post system is a little goofy, and so we finally picked it up as well as the Kickstarter expansion, and I am absolutely excited about it. It is a drinking game. You are going to drink alcoholic soda pops the entire night, and you should probably not play this game the night before you have work. But not only is it a drinking game, the drinks come in as a penalty for not doing stuff. The other major half of the game is it is a physical challenge game with your friends, challenging them to dwarven curses and burping the loudest and push-ups and Dwarven's Kiss, which is super fun, and you can pick up the game and figure out what that is. We've got a group of friends that are coming over, and we're going to be playing that, recording the drunken craziness, and then I'm pretty sure we will be doing a hungover review of that one. That's coming soon. Brought to you by Advil.
Game by Red Raven Games. That's somewhat a sequel, follow-up to another game that we really like is Near and Far. So it's kind of the sequel to Above and Below. And I don't know a ton about this game, but I do know it's a little bit more of you're playing kind of a campaign exploration versus a building game, which is what Above and Below was. So pick that up because we absolutely love Above and Below and figured they did a fantastic job with the first one. Let's check out the second one.
The next thing that we picked up is a little bit of a preview from John Wick. We got their 7th Sea expansion, the Katai. And so that's really great. It's sort of the Asian-influenced part of the 7th Sea world. It comes with quick start rules, an explanation of the new classes, the new magic system, some pre-generated characters, and a completely pre-generated adventure. We really like the 7th Sea system. We really like the way that they do the action and the drama scenes, and so that's something that we would definitely be looking forward to, maybe getting everyone together, handing those out, picking a storyteller, and then doing a one-shot one evening.
Yeah. I picked up 2 sets of dice from Chessex, because that's a Gen Con tradition that I have, as well as picked up some artwork I picked up artwork from 2 different artists. One that I've gotten a couple of times. I think almost every Gen Con I've gotten a piece from her. And then another one that just walking the artist gallery, her work I really liked and picked up 2 pieces actually by her.
The things that we can't show you are the amazing food from the food trucks and the fact that we always get coffee and sometimes sandwiches when they don't sell out from Bee Coffee and getting dinner at the Ram and all of the times just sort of standing around meeting new people and all that stuff. We can't bring those things home. Our house isn't big enough. People have jobs and lives. It would be a mess. But we can show you some of the games that we brought home. I think we'll be doing some unboxings and some reviews, and you'll get some more detailed information from all of that stuff. And I'm Ryan.
I'm Dawn.
And we'll see you next time on Roll for Initiative.
Bye.
Bye.